Do 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 bum 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 bum. Do 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 bum 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 bum. Hello and welcome to News at 10 past 10. We are live and we are looking at this week's news that has occurred this week. We've got lots of things to cover, including the UK High Street, Donald Trump, Keir Starmer, wars here, there and everywhere, ways of stopping the wars here, there and everywhere, and loads of other stuff. So yes, we are going to be hitting it hard, very quickly indeed. I've also turned off the monetization for these videos because it keeps interrupting people's viewing pleasure. So this stream now is no longer monetized. So there we go. Calderdale Top Cat, good evening. It will be a warm week next week. Yes, can't wait. Back out again doing some Wigan walks. Good evening, Craig Meadow. We always get the greetings out of the way first before we get into the serious and very sad tragic news which is coming up very shortly indeed. I was going to say later on. So good looking at Russia. We're looking at Gaza. We're looking at Ukraine. We're looking at tariffs. We're looking at child abuse in a summer camp, alleged. Storm Floris, almost. What BBC News at 10 do I really say? James Whale. Yeah, I have to show James Whale in there. Baking. Oh, you mean really warm? All right, okay. Yeah, well, you stay cool, Calderdale Top Cat. Look after yourself. The Ocean Gate sub, Jay Blade. Resignation, the BBC, and yeah, ChatGPT 5. So we've got all that to get through. Hi T, by the way. Hope you're good. See if I'm actually online. I'm online. Who knew? Now feel free to join in the chat. You can agree, disagree what I say. Generally most people seem to agree with what I say and the way I say it, but obviously not everyone will, because if they did, that would be a very sad state of affairs. Don't forget you can like, share and subscribe, and also you've got that weird thing that you can do where you put hearts and laughing things and whatever up on the thing. I don't know what it is. It's in the box where the heart is on the window now the chat is. It might help you get up the chart for the top fans, which we'll look at the end of this broadcast. Le broadcast à la ende. Oh oui? Oh oui. Right then. It's time to get a cracking. So, the news this week. There's not really one story that has stood out as such. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at various news items that have gone on this week. Normally we have one main headline that's kind of run through the whole week, but this week not so much. It's kind of lots of little headlines, all of which are pretty horrendous, unfortunately. If you're in the background, you're more than welcome. And here we go. He says optimistically. I need to get that one sorted out though for in a bit. Right then. So Friday the 1st of August. Like WTF? We're in August already? Where's this year gone? Where's last year gone? Where's the last 10 years gone? I mean, crikey. Ex-Russian president reminds Trump that they, Russia, have nuclear weapons. Trump deploys submarines near Russia. This is over threats of sanctions if no agreement between Ukraine and USA, which were due to run out tomorrow, I think. I'm not sure about that. Also on Friday the 1st of August, a 76-year-old man is charged with 3 counts of willful ill treatment of children at a summer camp. Allegedly, it's got to go to court yet, but allegedly there were some sweets that were given to children that were laced with sedatives. Hi DT, hope you're good. Whitekopf visits Gaza and UN distribution centre. It's the first ever visit during the war by an official from the White House. New Trump tariffs come into force. Israel get 50% tariffs, India get 25% tariffs, and Brazil get 50% tariffs. India tariffs may go up to 50% if they keep buying oil off Russia. Saturday the 2nd, the 76-year-old man is in court over charges of cruelty to children, alleged sedative-laced sweets. 9 arrests at protests, counter protests at London, and 2 in Manchester at migrant hotels, and the thoughts of them. Sunday the 3rd, Gaza shows more footage of IDF shooting. The UN released more footage of the IDF, the Israeli Defence Force, shooting innocent, unarmed people at an aid supply centre. They're great, the IDF, aren't they? You gotta love them. Storm Floris is upgraded to amber for parts of Scotland from 10 a.m. On Monday morning. A man dies after falling at an Oasis gig in Wembley, and a massive fire in Sochi is blamed on Ukraine. Now, Sochi being the Russian centre where there used to be, before the war started, an half-decent Grand Prix, considering it was Russia and all. It was actually quite a good Grand Prix. But sadly, no more. Monday the 4th, Storm Floris has caused havoc in Scotland with council trains, power outages and trees felled. Wigan, a wheelie bin blew over. BBC News at 10 say that 2 arrested in rape of 12-year-old girl, but Reform say that they are Afghan asylum seekers, and Farage says people must know the truth. The BBC kind of neglected that little bit. James Whale, the broadcaster, amazing broadcaster for decades, lost his huge fight with aggressive kidney cancer and passed away, aged 74. He was on Talk TV. I rang him up. We had a couple of chats on Talk TV. That's the only interaction I had with him. He was also on radio and TV, and he was around forever. He even did a stint in Celebrity Big Brother once upon a time, although I don't think I watched that one, to be fair. Tuesday the 5th, Ocean Gate sub. I mean, now, you may need to sit down for this news. Apparently, the people who ran it kind of ignored, well, the main guy ran it, advised to keep it maintained. Which might have something to do with the fact that 5 people tragically lost their life, including him. Jay Blade, repair shop guy, the guy with the glasses and a hat, is charged with 2 counts of rape, and it was in court as well over coercive behaviour. So it turns out Jay Blade might not be a nice person, allegedly. Might be lovely, this might be trumped up charges. It's BBC. Huge flash flood in India. Many dead and missing. If you watch the video of this, basically it was just like someone just emptied a lake on top of a mountain, and it just flowed down and destroyed houses, and it was horrendous to see from the other side. And there was no warning about this, and yeah, many dead. I imagine the final number of dead and missing is going to be a lot higher than what we've currently got. NASA, well, they've decided they want to build a nuclear power station before 2030 on the moon. Have they not seen Space 1999? Do they not know how this ends? The one thing Space 1999 never showed you was what happened to Earth when the moon went off because of the nuclear explosions that occurred there. Yeah. End of life on Earth if the moon goes. Not even joking. Google it. Chat GPT. It's more of that in a bit. Sorry. One in, one out started today, as in Tuesday. But Yvette Cooper repeatedly refuses to give hard numbers on when it's actually going to happen, how many people are going to be involved, how many people are going to get, how much it's going to cost. Turns out we're going to pay for all of it though, because that's what Keir Starmer does. He comes up with these shit ideas and then makes us pay for it. You know, like Chagos Islands, where we basically give an island which is of strategic importance to the United Kingdom and America, and the West in general, to a country that's aligned with China, which we're not aligned to, but we have to pay hundreds of millions of pounds for 99 years to lease back the land that we actually were in control of previously. I mean, you couldn't make it up. It's ridiculous. So, the people come over here illegally on the migrant boats. We pick them up at our cost in the middle of the channel or whatever. We bring them over. We then store them in somewhere, whether it's hotels or whatever, at our cost. We then send them back to France at our cost. I say our cost, taxpayers' costs. Send them back to France, and then France send over the same number of people that we send back to them to us at our cost, which we then have to house and find things for them to live in, and jobs and all that kind of stuff at our cost. Plus, we get one migrant coming in on a boat, and we send one migrant back, so we've gone plus one, and then we've gone back to zero again. But then we get another migrant, legal, coming over, so we're still plus one. So what problem is this solving? It also turns out as well, apparently, according to GB News and others, that France don't have to tell us who they're sending us. They don't have to give us the information that this person is a suspected terrorist, child molester, whatever. They don't have to tell us any of that. So we're in the same position we're in now, getting people coming into the country legally who we don't know who they are or what they stand for. That's genius for France. The murder of the dog walker from a while ago now gets 25 years in prison, and there's huge wildfires in Europe, southern France particularly hard hit. In fact, I've not written it down for today, but the fires are about the size of Paris at the moment, with 2,000 firefighters. BBC say that for £40 billion black hole in the government's spending plan. Now everyone else is saying 50 billion, but the BBC, they like Labour, don't they? They are saying that it's 40 billion that the government need to find to pay for all this stuff that they're coming up with, including giving wage rises to everyone. And Keir Starmer says the figures put out are not what he recognises. Well, he wouldn't recognise it, would he? Because he wouldn't recognise a thing put in front of him. Oh, just that guy. And meanwhile, Claire's is filing for bankruptcy in America, which could well and truly screw up Claire's in the UK. I always thought Claire's was a UK company, I'll be honest. Obviously, I've never been there, never bought anything. It's all like ear piercings and stuff like that. I did ask him once if they do my nipple, and I got thrown out and banned for 3 years. Maybe I shouldn't have had my top off at the time. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I made that up, by the way, it's not true. But other high street shops are suffering as well, more of that in a bit. And it's 80 years yesterday since Hiroshima nuclear strike, which killed tens of thousands of people instantly, and possibly 100,000, if not more, over a period of time from the fallout from the nuclear bombs going off. Only 2 nuclear bombs currently have been used in war, and let's hope that there are no more. Thursday the 7th, hang on a minute, that's today. Interest rates surprisingly cut to 4%. I say surprisingly because inflation's going up. So normally when inflation goes up, they don't drop the interest rates. But everything's so screwed up at the moment with this government that the Bank of England are getting desperate. I think they just need to think they need to do something. So they've dropped the interest rate from 4.25% to 4%, which is great if you've got a variable mortgage. Hello. Labour MP Ali resigns as homeless minister. Now the irony is, she was the homeless minister, so she's the minister responsible for reducing the number of homeless people around the country, which is a admirable job and you can do it. But no, she evicted tenants from one of her properties and then re-advertised the said property, allegedly, for £700 a month more than what the tenants that she evicted were actually paying before she evicted them. Now, it's not illegal, but certainly immoral. And if you're the homeless minister and you make people lose their home, then you're not fit for the job, are you? And needless to say, she's resigned. I think she would have been put. No, Keystone wouldn't push anyone. Has he actually fired anyone off the cabinet yet? He should have fired them all. But no, he hasn't. I wrote about this in the Wigan Today newspaper. It's on the website. If you go on Wigan Today, go to opinions, and you'll see my opinion on this cabinet. But a brief synopsis is basically there's not one single person in this cabinet, including the Wigan's MP, I think should be in politics or in any public service job for life. They should all be banned for life because none of them seem to be competent at doing anything other than screwing over people and charging the taxpayer shed loads of money for this, that and the other. Benjamin Netanyahu says he intends to take over Gaza and hand over governance to Arab forces. I don't even know what that means. But this is after the removal of Hamas, which he'll never do. GPT-5 is launched. It's like talking to a PhD graduate, allegedly. Now, I don't know about you, but if you've ever spoke to PhD graduates, most of them haven't got a brain cell in their head or any common sense. So that's not going to bode well, is it? Anyway, that was it for the week's news. We've had very little chat in the chat room, to be fair, but it doesn't matter. We'll keep going. I've now got a video. Oh, say he's doing a video, is it? That's unusual. What's he doing a video for? Well, it's basically a video that I shot when I left my shop today in the Grand Arcade in Wigan. We are surrounded by 3 shops that are in various states of distress. It's going to be on Wigan Watch, which should be going up this weekend at some point, but this is a sneak peek. Seems that the high street is going to be in for a terrible time. Claire's on the brink of closing all their stores, bankruptcy. River Island possibly could have completely closed today. However, the court case was put to one side for a little while, so it gives them a reprieve, mainly for a liquidation sale, apparently. At least that's what it said in the articles I read. And then you've got New Look. Ah, is that it? Yeah, that's it. It's only a 30-second clip. So there you go then. That's going to be part of the Wigan Watch. Obviously, the shops are shuttered for a number of reasons, least of which is I don't like filming on the mall when there's people around. And secondly, there's music playing and it's very loud. And thirdly, I don't want the people who work in the shops to hear what I'm saying, because some of them might be blissfully unaware of the impending possible doom that may be coming their way. Now, we all know about the high street in the UK and the problems we're having with it, because, well, we can see it ourselves every time you go to whichever town that you live near. You can see empty units and all that kind of thing. How's about Time Out? You know, the American news channel, newspaper, whatever it is. Well, on the 5th of August, I found this, and it says, a full list of UK high street closures confirmed in 2025, including Poundland, Morrison's, WH Smith's, Homebase, New Look and more. And this is before Claire's just went absolutely bananas in America. So this is, quite early on. So in 2023, Wilco shut, and in 2024, some of them reopened, but with different owners. We closed branches of Marks and Spencer's, Boots. The few body shops that were still left, apparently there was some left, I didn't even know that, they went, and lots more. In fact, they reckon 37 shops a day in 2024 have shut down. Now this year it's going to be worse than that. So, all the UK high street closures in 2025, they list them as Poundland, and there's a list that just goes on and on and on. None local to me other than Salford, Regent's Hill Park. You've got another one quite close. Let's have a look. But so many of them. Liverpool, Belle Vale Shopping Centre in Liverpool. That's going, and you've got Ipswich. You've got just loads and loads and loads. Brewdog. Now Brewdog opened pubs. Brewdog being the brewers of alcohol, some of which is very good, some of it not so good. They've shut 10 bars in July, including Aberdeen, Brighton, Camden in London, Dundee, Leeds, Oxford, Sheffield, Shepherd's Bush in London, Shoreditch in London and York. The Gusto Italian restaurants, Alderley Edge, Cookridge, Edinburgh, Heswall, Leeds and Newcastle have all gone. Papa John's is shutting 74 outlets across the UK, but they've not said which ones yet. Iceland are shutting loads and loads and loads of stores, including Margate and Inverness. Morrison's shuts dozens of Morrison daily convenience stores and Morrison's cafes, as well as market kitchens, florists, meat counters, fish counters and pharmacies. And then it just lists Bath, Exeter, Goring by Sea, Gorlstown, Great Bar, Haxby Village, Peebles Pool, Romsey, Selsdon, Sensfield, Starwich, Tunbridge and Wickham, Wokingham, and World, never heard of World. Cafes, well, it's just an endless list of cafes. New Look has announced it's completely winding down its operations in Ireland at the cost of nearly 350 jobs. On this side of the Irish Sea, it's announced 4 closures so far, including Loughborough, Rhondda, St Austell in Cornwall and Gateshead. WH Smith's, they're rebranding lots of stores, but a lot of stores have shut permanently. Homebase, they've shut many stores, but they've managed to save 70 branches so far. But Bradford, Broadstairs, Cheltenham, Colchester, Coventry, Derby, Gloucester, Hull, London, Streatham Vale, Oban, Odbury, Romford and Wolverhampton have all gone. Hobbycraft. Now, again, this features in Wigan Watch. They've shut Bagshotbury, Basildon, Boreham, Bristol, Canterbury, Cirencester, Dunstable, Epping Forest, Lakeside Shopping Centre, Essex. They're also shutting the one down in Wigan. That is going, I think, this weekend, maybe even Sunday or Saturday even, I don't know, but that's going. Fashion retailer Quiz closed 23 shops, and there's a lot of them, including, I've never really heard of Quiz, but there's one in Preston in Frigates Walk, so I might have even been in it and not noticed. Liverpool, Doncaster, yeah, all done. Santander Banks, a massive list of banks that are shutting. They want you to go online, they want to be cashless. And then another list of branches that are to close but have not been given a date yet, including Holyhead, Ilkley, Lytham St Anne's, Uckfield, Urmston. NatWest closing again, shed loads of branches, Manchester, Portland Street, Rochdale, Trafford Park, Widnes, Windermere, just loads and loads and loads of banks. Lloyds, they're shutting shed loads of banks as well. I mean, even a longer list than the other one. Halifax, which is part of the Lloyds Group, again a huge list including Rill. And then Bank of Scotland, who own the previous two, shutting in Peebles, Moffat, 2 in Edinburgh, Alexandria, no idea. Sainsbury's cafes, they've all shut in all the different stores around the country, and some of them reopened, branded as, is it Starbucks or something? I don't know, but yeah, they've definitely opened. The Entertainer toy shops, they've shut at least 1, but there might be more. Monkey is owned by H&M. Now H&M have been shutting shops left, right, centre as well. But there's Monkeys, closing, or Newcastle, Manchester, Glasgow, Sheffield, Birmingham, Bristol and London. Millets, I thought they'd gone already. Lowestoft, Douglas, York and Grimsby. And Burgess Hill. The Co-op, another huge list. And Shoe Zone. Shoe Zone's fate currently hangs in the balance, although its bosses have cautioned that things haven't been going as well as they like them to, and they're likely to need to cut back on both stores and staff. Nothing has been announced yet, but if anything is announced, we will keep you in touch with what is going on. So there you go then. There's a lot of big retail names going down. That is the problem. They are huge, and the situation is not getting any better. Hi Stephen O'Neill, just been on a Doctor Who chat. Well, DT, this is part of my conspiracy theory. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Sorry about that. But what I've said is that if the bank's shut, you can't get cash. If you can't get cash, you have to use your card, your watch, your phone, whatever. And then they've got control of you. So if there's no cash and shops stop taking cash, then when you buy something, the bank know where you've been and how much you've spent. The store or the business that you've been to, might be a garage, it might be anywhere, their bank also knows that you've been there and you've spent the same amount of money. They might even know what you've spent it on. Now that's all well and good and somewhat irrelevant. I mean, I never give my information to stores who want me to have a store card. The other one I use is a Tesco one. I think I've shown you this before, but I'll show you again. And I don't give the information out of who I am, but I still get the app and I still get all the benefits. Because as far as Tesco is concerned, I'm an eater who drinks a hell of a lot of Guinness, I'll be honest with you. For a woman, my God. But why give them your details? They get hacked all the fucking time. Look at M&S. Look at the other ones that have been hacked recently. So your full name, your address, your date of birth, your emails, your telephone numbers, all that is stored by these companies, a lot of which is sold off, which is why loads of people get loads and loads and loads of nuisance calls. My phone number is all over the internet. I do not get nuisance calls. To be fair, I don't get many calls during the day because where I work there's no signal. But that's another story. Even before that, I didn't. I've had the same number for, 15 years, 20 years, and I don't get nuisance calls because I don't give my phone number out to shops and companies like that because they sell that. So say, for example, NatWest, your bank, other banks are available, they buy shares in Asda or Morrison's. Morrison's is struggling. So let's say NatWest buy Morrison's. So they own the whole of Morrison's. They saved it from certain closure of all its stores. Yay, well done, yay. But there's no cash anymore. Morrison's don't take cash, Asda don't take cash. We're talking in the future. Tesco don't take cash, Sainsbury's don't take cash. No one takes cash anymore. So they're like, well, hang on a minute. We're NatWest, we own Morrison's. So let's make it so people who have an account with us can only shop at Morrison's. So the card will not work in Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, wherever. Now, it's a leap, I know, but it is a possibility. Asda by Tesco. Asda by Tesco. Barclays by Tesco. I don't know, Bank of Scotland, Lloyds, Halifax, they buy Sainsbury's. What's to say that you can only use their cards in their stores and you get a little bit of extra discount, loyalty as well for doing it. Then you've got the situation of if you're on benefits. So say, for example, you're genuinely on benefits, you have a genuine reason for the benefits that you're receiving, and millions of people do, and I don't have any issues with that whatsoever. And then the DWP go, hang on a minute, why did you spend £150 at JD Sports? And you'd be like, well, I needed some new trainers, or, a coat for the kids, or whatever. And they can say, well, no, that money's not for that. That money is for you to pay for your electricity, your gas, your food, your council tax, and your rent or mortgage or whatever it is you're on. So why are you spending the money there? So what they could do then is they could then say, because there's no cash, remember, we're in the future, there's no cash. They could then say, right, anyone on benefits, can no longer shop at JD Sports or equivalent. It's a leap, but yeah, it is a possibility. And it's heading that way, and they're all doing it. I mean, our Poundland, which we've currently got in Wigan for now, they had 5 self checkouts, and all of them took cash or card. They then replaced the 5 with 4. Made no sense. And only 2 of them take cash. The other 2 are card only. Now, when I'm in there, I always pay with cash. So I have to queue up for the 2 cash ones to be free, or one of the 2 cash ones to be free, when often at least one of the card ones isn't being used. Because let's be honest, most people who shop at Poundland may not use bank accounts regularly, or they may have a tight budget, so they don't use the card. They want money, physical money, in their hands, so they can see that they've got £10 and they can only spend £10. Or if they spent £5 last time, they've only got £5 now. Whereas thinking about whether you've got the money or not is a different thing. Benefits will be food stamps soon that you can only use in certain items. Think they have this in America. I don't know if they have it in America, but they'd have to have it in somewhere like China or somewhere similar. So yeah, the way we're being pushed cashless is deliberate, and the banks shutting is all part of the bigger picture as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there's no need for banks to be as big as they are, I get that. TSB in Wigan have opened up what they call a pod, and it's basically the size of a container. You know, when you see on the back of a lorry or on ships, all those containers all stacked. It's a unit, well, it's a container about that size, and it's got a cash machine in it. It's got a tiny little office at one end, and in the middle, your doors you can go in, and there's always 1 or 2 people there that you can talk to, and they have access to a tablet, which means they can do stuff for you on that, and that's all you need. Now, when banks opened originally, they had to prove that they were better than the other banks. So in Victorian times and before, they built these very lavish big buildings, and Barclays, and I think NatWest always built the biggest and best ones. But the banks, they all had to be huge because everything was done by hand. So you go in and pay in 3 bob 15p, which was a lot of money back in them days, into your account. The person behind the desk would have to write down in a ledger that you'd done that, and then give you that back so you knew how much money you had, and then the copy that they'd written would then go to someone else in the back, who would then update your bank account within the bank, and so on and so forth. So you needed lots and lots and lots of people working in banks, and I reckon at one point there might have been 30 to 50 people working in a branch in a city, maybe even more, and certainly 20 to 30 in a larger town. Still, a bridge lost its NatWest last year, but the bank itself is huge. It's a massive building for such a small town. But typewriters came along, so you didn't need everyone to write everything by hand. You can now type things up, and then you got computers with basic printers, which is when I started going to banks. I used to have them. You have a little book, and they'd shove it in a machine, and it'd print out with a dot matrix thing. Whatever you'd done, whether you paid or took out or whatever. And then obviously computers have got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now there's more technology in that than what there was that got man to the moon, allegedly. So you don't need the banks to be as big as they are. Now, the main problem in Australia, as you know, if you've watched this podcast or listened to this podcast for the last few years, is they're miles ahead of us for cashless. I mean, they are huge leaps ahead of us. And the amount of problems that they're getting now, they get a lot of hacking. So if your bank account is hacked or your bank is hacked, basically they just shut everything down. So you can't use your card, you can't use your phone, you can't, there's no cash machines, so you can't even get cash out. The shops that use the bank, they can't take any money either. If you're cashless, all of a sudden, whoa, hang on a minute, we're not making any money now. And that's the other issue. Right, here we go. Where are we up to? Stephen King will address the nation next week. Yes, I heard that today. Benefits for food stamps. What people do for jobs in the future. What are jobs in the future? We'll all be fat and we'll all sit around. Well, be fat. And we'll sit around on these chairs that hover us around. Have you ever seen Wall-E? So many films I have seen, but I've seen Wall-E. That's our future. Stephen's here. Tags. Stephen, Kelly, and Rollo. They're here. Speech about VJ Day. I think Stephen was hoping it was an abdication. I think we're all hoping it's abdication. It's all right, Angela. Don't worry. They also had to have the cash in the bank for the account holder's value. Yes, exactly. They have this in America. They have what in America? Who's that? They think they have that in America. Yeah. Seahor and Co is the oldest privately owned bank in the UK, established in 1672. Thank you, Stato. So yeah, brilliant. Right then. So that was me talking about stuff. Have I finished talking about stuff? Yeah. No. Yeah. We've got to be careful. We've got to really, really look at. And we've got to be careful of handing over our ability to have cash in hand. We need to sort it. Bank of England was founded in 1994. 1694. Swap two of them numbers round, you get the year I was born in. Don't work it out, it's embarrassing. Anyway, hope you enjoy my little rant about that. Don't forget you can like, share, subscribe, press the little heart thing as well if you've agreed with what I've been saying. So shall we have a look now at some lighter news, some memes, and some interesting stuff. I'm also as well, I don't know if you'd be interested in this or not, but I'm thinking of doing a new section. You know what, I did the video. Ta-da! I'm thinking of doing a new section where I put as not seen on BBC News at 10, where the BBC conveniently forgets to mention something that's actually quite important but doesn't fit the narrative of the Labour Party. You know, such as, I don't know, protests outside of migrant hotels, or anything that upsets them. So yeah, I might be doing that as a future thing, and then I will show pictures of said thing that the BBC did not show on News at 10. Now I'm not saying they don't show them anywhere, but I always say that News at 10 should be a concise look at the news from the day from around the world, and if people want more information they can watch the News 24 channel. We've all got access to that now. If they want to watch documentaries on some child with a dodgy toe for 20 minutes, well, they can watch that on News 24, whereas we can actually watch news that's actually relevant to what's going on, rather than a child with a dodgy toe. Obviously, I don't mean a child with a dodgy toe, but you know what I mean. I might offend someone if I say other stuff, but you get the idea. What's the thing about the King's announcement? The King has announced that he's going to make an address to the country next week, which would coincide with the VJ Day. Might be abdication, but it's doubtful, to be fair. I mean, he's waited long enough, hasn't he? He'll just want to be in there. Right then, so shall we have a look at the lighter news? So, this is brilliant. I mean, we've had stuff like this before, but I mean, this kind of sums up where we are. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. That's that one I want. There we go. Oh, my eyes. I don't know why my eyes are itching like mad. It's not supposed to be. We're supposed to be past bloody hay fever season, aren't we now? Victory over Japan, where Japan basically ended the war. They give up. And that we had VE Day, which is Victory in Europe, VJ is Victory in Japan, where Japan was, yeah, there you go. VBRL, welcome. Is there anyone I've not said hello to yet? Let's have a look. No, we're alright. We said everything to her. Anyway, 4,000 years ago, pyramids were built. And then this, which is a pole of some kind. It's been sold on a concrete stump, which has got studs in the concrete stump. And only one of the pre-drilled holes in the plate actually has one of the bolts going through it with a nut on and a washer. All the rest, it's the washer that's holding it in place. I mean, yeah, it just sums up where we are at the moment. Meanwhile, Hulk Hogan mourners greeted by cloud-shaped like iconic wrestler. It made people cry. It was Hulk doing his thing where he rips his shirt off and then goes like that. But anyway, yeah, there you go. Died of a heart attack, it was announced as well on July the 24th. Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves now less popular than Donald Trump. The poll found that the UK's first Labour Chancellor in over a decade has seen her approval rating plummet since her maiden tax raising budget last autumn. Really, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? Well, everyone. A woman who died for 8 minutes says she knows death is an illusion. You get your teeth sorted. Brianna Lafferty, 33, has suffered from a rare and severe neurological disorder since she was a child, and had but given up hope of feeling better until she experienced a near-death experience. She experienced a near-death experience. I don't know about these near-death experiences, to be fair. I mean, your heart might stop and everything, but I think your brain goes on for quite a long while, so it's just not go into panic mode and just go into, you know, like survival mode. Just think of something, just put something in there, just keep things ticking over. I don't know, but anyway, we'll find out one day, sadly. The UK High Street icon on the brink as parent company files for bankruptcy. Claire's Accessories, the High Street icon, faces an uncertain future after its US parent business filed for bankruptcy. It came after the business was unable to pay a loan. Now, it's already been in crisis why are all these in the wrong order? In America. Why are they in the wrong order? What's going on here? I don't know why they're in the... Everything's in the wrong order. Is it the right order? Oh, I don't know. It's either the wrong order or it's the right order. Now, I don't know whether you've seen... Oh, actually, Greg's is going to feature twice, I think, in today's episode. Or have I lost stuff? I think I might have lost stuff. Oh, I Dream Frequency. But yeah, what's he called? I mean, there's a guy who's appeared from nowhere who's become an internet sensation, and I don't know why. Final Boss. They made a gingerbread Final Boss have good old Greg's, although they've photoshopped the hair and they photoshopped the chain, but the rest is pretty accurate, to be fair. Yeah, me neither. Poundland shut 37 stores within days. And then this is interesting. Journey to New Planet Home could take man 250 years in a 36-mile long spaceship. Where are you going to get the metal to make a 36-mile long spaceship and make it strong enough to last for 250 years? Generations will live and die without ever setting foot on a planet, knowing only the vast self-sustaining craft on which they were born. I can't imagine anything worse than being born. Well, you wouldn't know any better, would you, I suppose? So, yeah, it's a great idea. No, these are all in the wrong order. I have no idea why they're in the wrong order. Morrison's cuts 3.6 thousand jobs and closes 7 supermarkets. We've already had a look at that. Remember the Crooked house, the pub that mysteriously burnt down and then was demolished 2 days later, and the owners have been ordered to actually rebuild it brick by brick. no, nothing's been done, and it's now just a dumping site for rubbish and things like that. And the locals are very, very upset. Downfall of River Island. The downfall of What's Great fashion brand comes to a head this week as River Island goes to the High Court to try and survive. Now the date's moved till tomorrow. Shopper finds Tesco receipt from 27 years ago and it was floored by how cheap it was. A woman has shared a snap of a Tesco receipt from 27 years ago that shows just how much prices have gone up in the last few decades. Well, obviously it's gone up. Wages have gone up as well. I mean, let's be honest. Which isn't the best thing. River Island again hangs in the balance as the date is moved. Now this is a weird one. Mum and son living in Travelodge and eating pot noodles after being kicked out. Now, it looks a bit like a young Johnny Vegas, no offence. But Paul Maddox, 43, and his 73-year-old mum have been living in a Travelodge in Manchester after they were evicted from their former home in Edgeley. It doesn't say why they were evicted, but now living off pot noodles. Well, I think he's eating more than pot noodles, that's all I'm saying. Brit booze crisis as more than 1,100 pubs and restaurants have shut since October. Brits could soon be in a booze crisis. Hey, it's all part of the greater thing, isn't it? Get rid of all the alcohol so we can not offend people who are offended by alcohol. Isn't that what it's all about? Or am I just being conspiracy theorist again? Pregnant woman convinced she's carrying Claudia Winkleman after a baby scan. A pregnant woman has shared her 12-week scan on TikTok and says she can't unsee who her baby looks like after her daughter pointed out the uncanny resemblance. And there is the scan, and I don't think it looks anything like her, to be fair. Birmingham Airport reopens after a private plane crash. The plane crash caused travel chaos as Birmingham Airport was closed for hours, with passengers stranded at the travel hub and airborne travellers forced to land elsewhere. Luckily, no severe injuries in said plane crash, hard landing, whatever. Johnny Vegas without the money. So like Johnny Staley Vegas. See what I did there? You won't get that unless you know what I'll talk about with Staley Vegas, but yeah, it's hilarious. Majority of Brits demand a snap general election as Keir Starmer humiliated. A petition calling for an immediate general election to be held has reached more than 137,000 votes as it soared past the 100,000 needed for Parliament to consider it worthy of debate. I can imagine 137,000 people might mysteriously disappear. Formula 1, only sport I follow. DRS to be replaced by MUM, which is manual override mode in 2026. Lando behind Oscar with his mum open. Yeah, it doesn't sound good, does it? But that's what we're going to be getting next year. Oh, here he is. Truth about Ibiza final boss as crazy hair raver goes viral throwing shapes. A man known online as Jack K has gained online notoriety because of his impressive dance floor moves in Ibiza combined with his rather bizarre look. So that's what he looks like in real life, and that's what he looks like in gingerbread man form. I think the similarity is striking. Do I know Mr. Angry? Sounds familiar, but I can't remember. Brits urged to clean their windows to stop invasion of false widow spiders. As spider season kicks off, there are spiders everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. Come on, birds, pull your act together. Although there's flies everywhere as well, so spiders, stop catching flies as well. As spider season kicks off this month, experts are warning Brits to urgently wash their dirty windows so they don't become a magnet for venomous false widow spiders. Now, why do dirty windows become somewhere for spiders? He looks like a Lego figure. He definitely looks like a Lego figure. Brit firm has liftoff to launch first ever homemade rocket into space from the UK. Skyroarer will blast off up to 16 rockets a year from the Shetland Islands for scientific experiments in microgravity of space. Pigs in space! Do you remember the Top Gear one where they sent a Reliant Robin on basically a space shuttle thing? That was hilarious. It didn't get to the space station, spoiler. Oh dear. No. Jermaine Janus claims the BBC took away his life after inappropriate text sacking. Former footballer and TV presenter Jermaine Janus lost his job at the Beeb in August last year after sexting a scandal, which also led to the breakdown of his marriage. Well, don't get sext people then, you absolute pervert. And like, some people really just stand up and say, look, I cocked up. There's a picture here. Sorry. I won't do it again. I'm sorry. Please give me a job rather than moaning about that. It's very, very sad. Now, we only have fake black widow spiders here. We can't afford the real ones. Nobody had allergies. This is like the 1970s. We all just ate dirt and moved on. And not wrong, to be fair, although I was never a dirt eater. Hi, Viva Mark. I'm very good. I hope you're good too. I never ate dirt, but that's probably why I've got allergies, to be fair. Naked gimp mask man leaves upmarket UK town baffled as locals speak out. Locals have been left shocked after the sleepy seaside resort was rocked by the presence of a naked man walking around its leafy streets in just a gimp mask, and he's feared to still be at large. Now, I'd love that if I was walking around naked with a gimp mask and they use the term large. I'd be like, yeah, thank you. Technically, it's not illegal to be naked in public, and if he's doing it at night time, it's a bit weird, but it's not illegal as such. You see, he's doing lewd acts. But wearing a gimp mask as well probably doesn't help this case. Although I don't class it as a gimp mask, I think. I would imagine he doesn't class it as a gimp mask. Greggs and KFC launch Ultimate Sausage Roll, dubbed Crossover of the Century. Greggs and KFC have joined forces for the first time ever to create the ultimate British snack, and it's been dubbed Culinary Crossover of the Century. And basically, it's a sausage roll. That's a vegan sausage roll, so I don't know why they're showing that one for. It's a sausage roll, and you get it with the chicken gravy, and you dip it in. Shh, DT. Shh, shh, shh. That's just for the OnlyFans page. Okay. By the way, thanks for subscribing. I hope you like my sausage roll. I don't know where that was going. It went there anyway. This made me laugh. We need to laugh. Vegan ones are worse. I thought this was Bert from Sesame Street. I need a coffee. From behind it. It's a small child being carried on someone's shoulders, and the colour scheme of the clothes they're wearing does make it look like it's Bert from Sesame Street from behind. Meanwhile, puppy power. A photograph taken many decades apart, and as someone pointed out, you'd have thought the cauliflower would have rotted by now. So 1980 and 2025, and it's the same couple with a very large cauliflower. And yeah, you would have thought it would have rotted by now, but no, there it is. I mean, they're rotting, but not yet. But they will do one day, I suppose. What's that one? Hang on a minute. Behave. We might think you work for the BBC. Oops. Food takeaway places will suffer if we went cashless. Well, no, they're already cashless anyway, aren't they? Because you pay online now to get your delivery. But I know what you mean. If you go inside and pay cash. We're talking before about, I mean, this is quite a serious one actually for this funny bit, but we'll stick it on anyway. England, Scotland and Wales. Article 10 protects your right to hold your own opinions. Article 10 protects your right to hold your own opinions and express them freely without government interference. This includes the right to express your views aloud, for example through public protest and demonstrations, or through published articles, books or leaflets, television or radio broadcasting, works of art, the internet and social media. Hey! The law also protects your freedom to receive information from other people by, for example, being part of an audience or reading a magazine. So there, that's just going on about the lack of freedom of speech that we're getting at the minute. A man was arrested for training his dog to throw bricks at people who rang his doorbell. It's in South Africa. Now, I might have shown this before, I can't remember, but it's worth repeating. It is genius. Man arrested in South Africa for allegedly training a dog to throw bricks at doorbell visitors. A man in South Africa has been arrested for allegedly teaching his dog to fling bricks at anyone who rang his doorbell. Neighbours described him as a reclusive father who went to bizarre extremes to avoid uninvited visitors. Reports claim the dog was trained to grip and launch bricks using its mouth, a spectacle that quickly gained online attention. While some called it a bizarre act of creative home defence, authorities did not find it amusing. It's right, in the UK we've already covered mortgage rates going down to 4%. I think it's a panic to try and save the economy by the Bank of England, because let's be honest, the government are not doing anything about that. Meanwhile, in Australia, mortgage rates have skyrocketed, increasing by 17.7 Australian billion dollars in June alone. So they're trying to rake more money in. And the irony is that picture shows rolled up notes, and they're trying to go cashless. Keep up with the times, not the newspaper. Japan is developing floating houses that lift the ground during earthquakes. Obviously there was an earthquake recently that caused a lot of worry. So normally the houses would be on normal and on the ground, but if it detects or if there's a signal for an earthquake, it will lift up into the air, and the ground will shake. Your house might shake, but it won't fall down, unless of course it moves away from those pimples that it's kind of resting on. Can't think of another way of describing it. The concrete pimples, they're not like zits or anything like that. Cool whale. This humpback whale survived being cut up by a boat propeller. The whale is now named Blade Runner. Love it. Genius. British memes. The cafe will be closed from the 27th of August, reopening the 3rd of September. I am having a break from Tina. So someone's had enough of either an employee or a customer. Meanwhile, Eddie Murphy will play Inspector Clouseau in the live-action Pink Panther reboot movie. Woke. Absolute nonsense. The perfect tattoo to cover up a birthmark doesn't exist. There's someone there that's got like a little streaky birthmark, brown, and they've had a very bad Calvin Klein underpants, but the back of the underpants tattooed on there, which I think is genius. Meanwhile, a graffiti artist, or an artist in, I don't know where it is actually, has decided to tidy up tags. Now the writing at the top is what they call tagging. So it's not art as such, it's just you put your logo thing on there, like your signature, to say that you've been here, and then other people put theirs on, and some of them are massive. And I've mentioned it on the Wigan Walks. We've got some tagging going on at the beginning of the Lee spur of the Leeds-Liverpool Canal, and some of them are actually quite impressive. I'm quite taken aback with how good they are. Anyway, this guy's decided to go around and just make them neater so you can read them. So again, I don't know whether it's art, whether it's graffiti, whether it's tagging. I don't really know what it is. but I like the idea. It's very, very cool. Just tell her you are built like Christian Bale, but don't say which film. Now, I'm going to say bottom left was me to about the age of 24. There's a video of me with no top on where I look very similar to that. Then top right was me when I worked for Sky, going up and down ladders all day. I nearly got a six-pack. I never got the arms or the chest though, just a six-pack going up and down ladders all day. Bottom right, me today. So I've got the body of Christian Bale. I've never seen American Psycho, but the cover of it, there's a picture of him there with no top on, and it's like, I wish I'd had a body like that. I did have a body like that once, but the freezer broke, I had to throw it away. It's a joke, not a very good one, but we'll go with it anyway. Meanwhile, Architectural Massacres, Kansas City, 1906 to Kansas City today. And you're like, what the absolute F? There's one building standing and everything else is totally unrecognisable. That's America for you. America for you. Breaking news. Rare worn down pencil belonging to William Shakespeare has been unearthed. Experts not sure if the pencil is to be or not to be. Might be an HB. It's a pencil joke. I'll get back to you. Christopher Nolan issues urgent warning for people to start buying physical copies of movies. Yeah, I mean it's obvious, isn't it? For a number of reasons. One is, as he says on the next bit, you want it forever. If you buy a 4K UHD, it's yours. No company is going to break into your house and take it from you. No, but the local scallies might. But the main thing is that the videos are not going to be wokified. Plus, I sell DVDs in my shop genuinely from 25 pence. You can buy 5 25 pence DVDs for 95p. And I also sell DVDs 45p, 75p and 95p. If you double them prices, that's what CEX sell them for. And I give you a lot more than they do, 10 times more. And in the case of a £2 DVD that they give you a penny for, I give you 50p for it and sell it for 95p. Everyone's a winner, except for CEX. Problem is I'm really fussy. But no, you own it. So you're getting DVDs really, really cheap. Now if you want to watch like 4 different movies, the chances are none of them, well, they'll be all on different streaming services. You might be lucky, you might get 2 on one streaming service, but the other 2 will be on the other one. So you've got to pay for all the streaming services. How many movies do you actually watch a month to actually warrant paying all this money out to all these different companies? And then you've got adverts going in now. So you're paying a subscription, and now all of a sudden they're putting adverts in the programs. And then you've got the wokification, where they wokify it, where anything that might be deemed slightly offensive is removed from said film. So you're watching a film, and there's a particular scene in it, I don't know, crossing your legs maybe, or maybe someone getting shot in a war film, and they cut it out because someone might get upset by that. Hey no, someone got shot in a war film, we can't show that. No. You got the DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, whatever part of the life of that movie it was, that will remain like that forever. Now, one of the cleverest things I've ever seen was Faulty Towers. Now, Faulty Towers is one of my favourite programmes of all time. To be fair, I've not watched it for over a year now, so I need to sit down and watch it again because it's just hilarious. But there's one particular scene where the Major, who's an old guy, ex-army, he always wears a blazer, faulty, and all that kind of, very posh. One episode he goes around with a shotgun, because that's what they do, and he comes up to Faulty at the reception, and he says a story along the lines of, I took a girlfriend to cricket, blah, blah, blah. And she said, "Oh, I don't like cricket. I hate these derogatory word players." And he said, "I said, no, darling, no, you cannot use the actual word that they said. No, these people are not from India. These are West Indies. These are another derogatory word." Now, this was filmed in the 1970s, late 1970s, and even then, John Cleese, ex Monty Python, realised that might be pushing it a bit too far. So, if you watch that episode on iPlayer, when he comes up to the counter, it's exactly the same actors, exactly the same time, filmed probably on the same day, exactly the same length of time, but no mention of a cricket match. It's another interaction, just in case it wouldn't get past the censors. But obviously now it wouldn't get past the censors because of the two highly derogatory names that are used. The whole point of it was to show him looking stupid rather than having a go at people who are not necessarily from the heritage that the Major was. It's kind of his Victorian attitudes to people, and that was the comedy aspect of it. It wasn't being negative to any other culture, shall we say. But even John Cleese knew at the time, yeah, that might not be right. So they've obviously kept it in the archives, and then they've stuck it back in now. So when you watch it now, you don't get the cricket match conversation. If you do, it's got nothing to do with the players or the girlfriend or whatever. It's to do with something completely different. I can't remember what it was, 'cause I've only ever seen it once. But if you want the original version and you buy DVD or a Blu-ray that was produced, say, before 2012, then you're going to get the original version of it. And if you mention it, it's just brilliant. It's just one of the best written TV shows in the history of TV. Angela agrees. We do sit and watch it regularly together. I don't know why she's saying all that nonsense there. Don't mention the war. No, it's meant to be silly, Angela. That was the whole point of it. It's but it's an example of what I'm on about. But they're getting more and more sensitive about what's in a movie or what's in a TV show now than what they were. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have an issue with them doing that because it was. I mean, there's a line that you don't cross, even in the 1970s, and this was about 6 miles that way past the line, and so they've dragged it back. So yeah, I kind of get that, but it's when little things, like I said, someone mentioned something about there was something cut out of a movie they watched on Netflix, and it was like, when he watched it, it was like, I'm sure there was a bit then. So he googled it, and it turns out they cut it out, but it was nothing. There was no sex in it, there was no drugs, there was no death, there was no cell phone, there was no bad language. They just cut this bit out for no apparent reason. Might have been a rabbit eating a piece of grass or something, I don't know. But we get to that stage now, whereas if you own physical media, no one can tamper with it. So if you're into, other stuff like In-Betweeners, for example, or one that I never got into, Phoenix Nights. People go mad about Phoenix Nights, and I just can't watch it. I did like Car Share though, that was good. YouTube have new rules out, and one of them is not being allowed to mention the war. Oh, Dream Frequency, we're going to have to ban you off YouTube because you just mentioned that you're not mentioning the war. By not mentioning the war, you've actually mentioned the war. In China, there is a reverse zoo where people sit in cages and animals roam freely. In China, the Li Lidu Wildlife Zoo in Changong offers a unique experience where visitors are enclosed in caged vehicles while animals roam freely in their natural habitats. The design aims to provide an immersive and safe way for humans to observe predators like lions, tigers and bears up close. The caged vehicles are often baited with fresh meat to attract the animals, allowing visitors to witness their behaviour firsthand. Haven't we been doing that for a long while here? Aren't they called safari parks? Someone's put it up on here. Can someone explain how an earthquake on one side of the world could cause a tsunami on the other side of the world? Meaning the earthquake that was in Russia caused tsunami, thankfully not as bad as the tsunami previously in Japan, and on a flat map, Japan is over here and Russia's over there. So it's like, how the hell has that happened? And someone's pointed out the earth isn't flat. You bend it round, they're next to each other. Some people. Meat wagon springs to mind. Can you imagine, going back to that one, where are we? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? There it is. Can you imagine though, doing that, and Mr. Vladimir Putin's a bit fed up now of people he doesn't like committing suicide by shooting themselves 16 times in the head with a shotgun, or accidentally falling out of high windows, or being blown up on being on planes that crash, or accidentally being poisoned. It's like, oh my god, get all the people I hate, put them in one of these cage things, and just drive them round the zoo with all the animals out. But the cage, it's made of chocolate. Yeah, that'd be good. Would I go in that? Would I go in that? Ooh, I don't know. Be an experience. The ripple effect gets bigger and bigger and bigger because the waves are already moving. If you drop a stone into a lake, you get the ripples, and the ripples tend to generally move out to the edge of the lake. Assuming it's like not a boating lake, but like a duck pond or something like that. But an earthquake is so much bigger. So you've got two plates of the tectonics, one generally going under the other. What happens is, it pushes and pushes and pushes, and then eventually that one snaps up. When that one snaps up, if it's underground, it forces the water up that's above it, which then comes down. And we're not talking a pebble, we're talking the equivalent of, I don't know, sometimes it could be a small town just dropping down into the sea, which then causes the wave, which then, as time gets bigger and it gets further away, can increase in size, and that's what causes a tsunami, or a tidal wave as it was back in the day. Can we have a Rick Browden Stens Keir Starmer? Oh, genius. No, sadly. It'd be cruel to the lions, tigers, bears, to be honest. I mean, they'd bore them to death, wouldn't he? They'd say, oh, I said you could eat me, but what I actually meant was, Anyway, China's most inconvenient convenience store hangs off the side of a cliff, and it sells bottled water and snacks to parched climbers. So there is a shop halfway up a cliff. Of course there is. Why wouldn't there be? I mean, for sake, why wouldn't there be a bloody thing like that? So I'm going to go back to this one again, because the reverse sue is a brilliant idea. And there's two things we can end on here, but I'm going to end on the next one, not this one. But some good news. A millionaire has died. Big game hunter gored to death by buffalo which ambushed him on trophy kill hunt. A US trophy hunter, Asher Watkins, 52, was on a safari in South Africa when the £3,000 bull got wind of the pursuit and attacked him at 35 miles an hour, killing him almost instantly. Now this absolute arsewipe is pictured on many pictures with loads of animals he shot, and some of them not necessarily legally, because he's a millionaire, he can get away with it, but nature, karma, nature got its own back. So ripple of applause for the buffalo. Well done, Mr. Buffalo. Just think of all the other animals you've saved. And then we've got the last picture. Blake, I'm feeling okay, thank you. How are you? So this is a meme, obviously. So it's Keir Starmer, and it's an AI representation of what he looks like when he's looking for paedophile rape gangs. Basically, a blind man with a white stick. But social media comments, and he's there with an ultra long range sight that would use for sniper rifles. Somebody should have taken a picture with the buffalo next to his body. I love that one. That's good. It's comment of the day so far. So do like that one. That made me laugh. That made me laugh. That one. That did. You made me laugh then. Well done. Well done. You made me laugh. So that is it for the silly news. So shall we have a look now at breaking news? So this is it. Breaking news. It's news that's been breaking whilst I've been talking about the news that's already broken. Buckingham Palace announces that King Charles will address the whole country next week. No more COVID jabs. Millions are told as expert it's a reckless decision. So they're saying now you don't need a COVID jab. I never had a single COVID jab, to be honest. No intention of doing. Nah. Birmingham airport crash landing chaos continues because they're still trying to sort it all out. Rachel Reeves welcomes interest rate cut but still blames Liz Truss's mini budget. Goff. I mean, absolutely goff. I mean, Liz Truss, yeah, absolute wit. But it was a mini budget. You've had a full budget and you've absolutely completely screwed up the entire population. People are losing their jobs left, right and centre. Businesses are going bust. Millionaires are leaving the country. You've absolutely top. And we need them gone. We need this Labour Party absolutely gone out of power. We need them destroyed. We need them to be destroyed like Hamas. Well, maybe not like Hamas, that's a bit too reckless. But certainly get rid of them permanently. That would be brilliant. So yeah. Blackpool Air Show visitors issued warning and urged to do two things this weekend. Well, look up in the sky and go to Blackpool. National living wage predicted to rise higher than expected. So this is in this budget. Now, the national living wage going up has actually forced many people to have their hours reduced or staff who leave not being replaced. So that's not going to help, is it, Rachel? For sake. Gordon Brown blasts returns of poverty of 60 years ago. And he makes one big demand. I'm not clicking on it though. Norman Eshley dead. George and Mildred icon dies as tributes flood in. He was the posh neighbour next door, if you ever watched George and Mildred. He had a son called Tristan, who had glasses, if I remember rightly. Tristan. Ferrari believed to have broken promises to Lewis Hamilton after Hungarian Grand Prix. Oh, hang on, what's going on here? Guy Fawkes too, anyone. Another Bank of England rate cut this year, less likely given inflation fears and split vote, because they had to vote twice for it. It wasn't all of them agreed to it. Apparently the first migrants detained under one in, one out deal, as the Prime Minister says he's going to sort the borders out. Angela Rayner calls on China to explain redacted images of the super embassy plans. That'll be the redacted images of the massive cameras pointing at various infrastructure in London. I mean, seriously. Ukraine-Russian war latest. Trump says he will meet Putin even if Kremlin leader won't meet Zelensky. The homeless minister resigns over rent hike after tenants exit. three charged with showing support for Palestinian action ahead of weekend of protests. Yeah, I wonder how much BBC is going to show of that. The long-feared Special Forces unit that wiped out Russian battalion. Oh. Ozzy Osbourne official cause of death confirmed. Heart attack. Reeves and Starmer to roll the pitch for tax rises in difficult autumn budget. Why is it difficult? Because you can't do your fucking job, that's why. New drug called Alzheimer's. Well, amen to that one. You can fix the body. We can pretty much cure cancer now. I certainly live a lot longer anyway. I mean, look at, like I said, James Whale. He got told he wouldn't see Christmas 2023, and he only passed away last weekend. Because of the advances of cancer treatments. So yeah, that's brilliant. But yeah, Alzheimer's, you can fix your body, but you can't fix that, and we need to be able to do that, because what's the point of having a body that works if your mind isn't? King Charles suffers blow as a nation drops oath of allegiance to British monarchy. It's not us, it'll be someone else. Gordon Brown's intervention shows Rachel Reeves is out of ideas. Urgent recall of over £64,000 of butter. It's a serious health risk. Well, we know that because of the cholesterol in it. You don't have to tell me something I don't really know. What else have we got going on? When I'm reading this, by the way, I can't see what you're saying. A pair banned from Morrison's, Asda, Aldi and B&M for what they did in shops. Shoplift? I don't know. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Shock bank split exposes precarious state of Britain's economy. Yeah. Fear over benefits loophole, handing cash to thousands of migrants. Why Rachel Reeves has only herself to blame for Labour's next wave of tax rises? Well, yeah, obviously. That's it, is it? Is that it? It's all about Coronation Street, who cares? First one goes to red and white. Taking land off pet dies from the plague. What? Health warning issued after pet cat dies of the plague. Oh, and Lonnie Anderson has died. Well, she in something exciting. I can't remember what it was now. Gordon Brown says UK hasn't seen poverty like this for 60 years. So yeah, that's it. It's all Coronation Street shite. Don't care about that. The white stick will be the last colour he would choose. Dream frequency never under Jeb. Angela's studying, she's going to miss it. Almaton is a washed up has-been, agreed. So someone said the other day that Guy Fawkes was the last honest man in Parliament. I think F1 is actually on a bit of a rise at the minute, to be fair, and I think the Mon might make things a bit different. Gordon Brown, I never liked Gordon Brown, but yeah. Sansa's outside, she wanted to go outside today. So many celebrities are dying. Yeah, that's because there's so many celebrities. That's part of the problem, there's just too many celebrities. Now everyone's getting a celebrity. I don't think I'll get a mention when I shuffle off this mortal coil. But yeah, I have no intention of doing that anytime soon, by the way. I'm not in any dark places or anything like that. Anyway, oh, hang on a minute. I need to change to that one. So, I'll go back to this one rather than the first one. So that is it. for this News at 10. News at 10, past 10. On the 7th of the 8th, 2025, just. So thank you very much for joining in the chat. So big shout out to Calderdale, Top Cat, Craig Meadow, DT, Stato, Stephen LC, Kelly and Rollo, Virtual Banger Racing League, Dream Frequency, Viva Mark. Have we done DT? We've done DT. Who's that one? Blake Gould. And everyone else. So top fans. Number 1 is DT, 150 XP. Number 2 is Scottish Girl, 75. Craig is number 3 with 75. Top Cat is number 4 with 75. VBLR, BBRL even is 5th with 75. Danger Mouse is 6th with 75. Viva Mark comes in at 7 with 50. Stephen LFC comes in with 50 as well at number 8. Stato, number 9, gets 50. And Blake Gould, he gets 50 in 10th place. Special mention to T as well. 10 likes, there's only 9 likes there, what are you on about? We've had we've had 52 people watching. 14 is the most we had a couple of times. Average is around about 10 watching at any one time. Turn the monetization off, so hopefully it's been a smoother viewing for you, because it doesn't make any money this. I don't do it for the money. I don't do anything for the money, do I? That's why I'm always skint. Anyway, yeah, that is it. So I will say thank you for watching, if indeed you still are, and I'll be seeing you. Yeah, no, I'm surprised as well. So yeah, until next time. I'm not even drunk my drink. Bye, tea.